The minute that man started turning 12 plus, of course that whole empire was gonna drop. It's gonna be a grown kid in high school acting like a child playing with what, Legos? What child's watching that? Back to this reaction, we're looking at Ryan Kaji's parents finally lost everything. I don't know why this man gotta say finally. Like, I get it. Like, bro was legit kind of forced to make money, and I don't really think that's too much of a big deal, but I'm sure they sacrificed a lot of his childhood into just making money for them. But we'll see what he got to say in this video, how they lost the money.
Parents didn't just fumble the bag. They lit it on fire, served it as a side dish, and then asked for seconds. We're talking about Xion and Luan Kaji, the masterminds behind Ryan's World, who turned their toddler into a walking ATM and are now watching their empire crumble faster than...
I mean, everybody knew that that was going to happen, right? Like, I mean, it was obvious. The kid's gonna grow up. He's not gonna stay 7 years old forever. Like, who expected that to happen? The minute that man started turning 12 plus, of course that whole empire was gonna drop. It's gonna be a grown kid in high school acting like a child playing with what, Legos? What child's watching that? Come on.
House of Cards in a hurricane, and honestly, it's about time. So let me paint you a picture of how we got here. Back in 2015, these two decided their 3-year-old opening toy boxes was peak entertainment. Fast forward a few years, and Ryan becomes the highest paid YouTuber on the planet, raking in over $20 million annually. Not bad for a kid who can barely tie his shoelaces, right? But here's where it gets interesting. While Ryan was busy being a human cash cow, his parents were busy being, well, his parents turned managers, turned exploiters, turned whatever you call people who profit off their child's childhood. And so the Kaji...
I don't think it's that deep though, right? Until it gets to a certain age, right? Because he has to do school, he has to do the video shoots. Nah, I'm not gonna lie. At a certain point, they did go kind of crazy. I mean, the amount of videos that they were dropping, TV shows, all that stuff, it seems like every single second of Ryan's day was content. So I'm gonna give them that. That makes sense. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. But if it was just like a company sends them a toy, they record a quick, 30 minutes of him playing with it, post that the next day, then they do the next thing the next day. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's that crazy for them to do that. It's not insane. If anything, it's helping the child. I'd understand if they were taking the money and then just buying yachts, going to the club, going crazy, Ryan at home with the babysitter or something. Like, they're not doing that. They don't, at least they don't seem to be doing that. I would think they would get exposed if they were doing anything crazy with the money and have none of it saved up for Ryan. I think that would be impossible. But yeah, they seem to be doing nothing wrong with the money. So I don't think it's that deep, but I do think they kind of went crazy after a couple of years.
quit their actual jobs. Luan,
like once he started like aging, and you could tell he's not a kid no more, they were pushing out content, crazy TV shows, new branding, animated characters, the VTuber junk, all that other stuff, bro. They were pushing it out insane because they knew their content farm off of Ryan was dying.
Was a chemistry teacher, Xion was an engineer, to become full-time Ryan's World content farmers. They hired a 30-person production team, incorporated Sunlight Entertainment, and basically turned their house into a content factory with Ryan as the star employee. Except here's where the water gets murky, because Ryan wasn't necessarily in a position to negotiate contracts.
Yeah, there was no yes or no's for him. He was kind of stuck doing it, right? And then it becomes like a whole thing with him, right? In his head is like, this thing is doing wonders for my family. I don't want to do it no more, but if I stop, millions of dollars is not going to be made for my family no more, right? And then if I'm Ryan in that situation too, right, once he gets to like the age of like he can, you know, obviously think further than what's happening tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I would still continue doing it, like genuinely, because I don't know what his parents doing with the money, but me personally, if I'm Ryan, if I can, I will try to push out the content crazy too, right? Because at some point that money has to go to me, right? It has to, no matter what, it has to go to me. You don't know if his parents are spending that money crazy, if there's nothing saved for Ryan or whatsoever. So if he continues to make as much money as he can, there's a higher chance that more money will be left over for him. I think there would be no downside except for the lack of a social life or something like that.
Or ask for bathroom break. But that didn't matter to his parents because by 2019, Ryan's face was plastered on everything from Walmart toys to Colgate
Walmart,
toothpaste. The kid had his
Target.
own Macy's parade balloon as Red Titan. Not to mention, they built a billion-dollar brand on shoulders that were still growing. But even back then, people were side-eyeing this whole operation harder than a suspicious TikTok dance trend.
Yeah.
Now, because of this, critics weren't just throwing shade. They were launching full solar eclipses. The FTC launched an investigation because apparently turning your living room into a 24/7 advertisement disguised as playtime raises some eyebrow. Who would have thought, right? And so consumer advocates accused them of deceiving millions of kids with ads that look like regular content. It's almost like preschool.
Bro, stop it. Like you know what kid YouTube videos are, bro. That to me, that just sounds like hating, right? The man is obviously getting paid to play with toys, right? There is no toy that you can convince a kid to want that they don't want themselves. You know what I mean? Except for like obviously like a thing that everybody else has, right? If everybody else has it and they don't have it, they want it, right? But if it's just a YouTube video of them playing with some stupid toy, if the kid don't want that stupid toy, they're not gonna ask their parents for the stupid toy, right? It's obvious. But yeah, of course that's what his channel is. He's a toy reviewer. He's playing with the toys. I don't see what's so crazy about that.
Liz can't tell the difference between Ryan loves this toy and Ryan's getting paid to love this toy.
Of course he's gonna act like he likes the toy. I don't think it's that deep. It's up to the parents to buy it. He's not scamming kids. He's he's just annoying parents, in my opinion. I mean, once it's bought, if the kids don't like it, the kids don't like it. I don't get it. It's not like the kids have $1 million and they're just throwing $1 million at Ryan for any toy that he reviews and says it's good. I don't see what's the
even
problem.
had to rebrand from Ryan's Toys Review to Ryan's World to make it sound less commercial. That's like calling a casino a fun money adventure center. Same energy, different packaging. But the sponsored content kept flowing because apparently ethics don't pay the bills like
look how old
overworking.
this dude is, bro.
Ryan does. And speaking of that, let's talk numbers. Ryan was filming up to 25.
How old is Ryan? Let me check. And this man only 13. Well, I guess now probably 14. Yeah, 14. It's crazy.
5 segments every week across multiple channels. 25. That's more content than most adult YouTubers produce in months. And this kid was still learning multiplication table. Every aspect of his life became monetized entertainment. Family vlogs, science experiments, daily routines.
But you could still argue he had fun, right? I know in his older years now, like the man is 13, turning 14. I mean, that's high school. You're a high schooler playing with kids' toys at that point. I mean, I would think I would get annoyed, right? Which I'm sure is happening now. So I think this is perfect timing. Bro, what is happening? Why are you burning sage right now? I don't know what I was even saying.
The boy couldn't brush his teeth without it becoming content. And the worst part is that no laws protected Ryan's earnings the way they protect child actors in Hollywood. All that money legally belonged to mommy and daddy. So while Ryan was out here being the family bread,
I mean, that makes sense, but I would hope that they would obviously funnel at least 20, 30, 35 at least. That's the lowest, bro. How much money they made if they're not putting away 35% of that bread into an account for Ryan, they're crazy.
his parents were the ones holding the bread and
I mean, it's like millions, bro. I mean, he said $1 billion business already. If 35% of that cash is not in some account for Ryan to get when he turns 18, these people are evil.
The butter, and probably the entire grocery store. But Karma doesn't forget addresses, and it definitely doesn't skip YouTube channels. Because fast forward to today, and the Kaji Empire is collapsing harder than a Jenga tower in an earth.
Is it actually? I would assume he still makes some good views for sure. Yeah, these are still good views. Posting at least once every day, every other day or so. Getting 40 to 80K views. Sometimes hitting over 100,000. Yeah, he hit like 1 mil a month ago. Look at this. This is still good. Let me do view stats. Bro, if this amount of money is falling off to you, I don't know how rich you are, but this is not falling off, bro. 236 million views in the last 28 days is not falling off. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care if you were making 2 million a month. Going down to 500 a month, 500K a month is not falling off. You may have lost some hype. You may have lost all the fame. But passively making 500K a month, bro, is not falling off. It just not. That doesn't make sense, bro. This man is still top 128 in subscribers. And he's top 23 in views on YouTube alone, bro. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Earthquake. Remember when Ryan's World was pulling in over 1 billion views per video? Those days are dead.
That did not happen. What do you mean per video? Yeah, he only has 2. Stop it.
Deader than flip phones. New videos now struggle to break 100,000 views. We're talking about a 70% drop in viewership, which for...
Bro, look at this screenshot he got. 2 videos in here hit 1 million. 400K. That's not struggling, bro. What are you
channel
talking
of
about?
This size, that's not a decline. That's a free fall with no parachute. Now, the reasons are both obvious and satisfying. Ryan grew up, and so did his...
you could at max do this for... I mean, you could do this for a long time, but making a good amount of cash where it's like worth all the recording time, maybe 2 or 3 more years for sure. So he's gonna be 2 years. I'm gonna go with 2 years. 3 years is kind of crazy. 17 years old, still doing this.
Audience, the 5-year-old.
I don't think he's even gonna show his face anymore at some point. Either that or he just becomes a content creator. He might be forced into content creation, like some streamer junk going forward.
Who used to worship him are now preteens who think the same content his parents are forcing him to make is, well, cringe. Meanwhile, new toddlers aren't interested in watching a teenager pretend to be excited about toys. It's kind of like watching your older brother play with action figures. It's just awkward and uncomfortable for everyone involved. But wait, it gets even worse for Ryan's parents. YouTube has since changed its algorithm after the COPA crackdown, and suddenly channels featuring kids weren't getting the royal treatment anymore. The result, Luan.
Oh yeah, kid channels, before they split up the CPM, yeah, kids channels were making all the bread. Like legit, every dollar was just being fed to them.
And herself admitted they lost 70% of their income.
Bro, like that's a crazy drop. Like they were kings, bro.
Practically overnight. Again, 70%. That's not a pay cut, that's financial amputation. And just when you thought Ryan's parents couldn't dig themselves a deeper hole, they decided to make a movie called Ryan's World, the movie. Titan Universe Adventure. Sounds epic, right? Yeah, no. This cinematic masterpiece managed to gross a whopping $624,000.
Yeah, like, bro, if there was any time for Ryan to make a movie, was when Ryan was really popping. Why are you making a movie in, what did he say, 2023? 2024, bro, last year of Ryan's World? Come on, bro. Are you serious? Whoever is on their team are idiots for thinking that would have worked in 2024, bro. That's just not possible. This is like some... You should have done this in like 2018 or something when they first started.
The movie, Titan Universe Adventure. Sounds epic, right? Yeah, no. This cinematic masterpiece managed to gross a whopping $624,000 against a $10 million budget. They lost nearly $9.5 million on what was essentially a very expensive home video. Theaters were emptier than a Logan Paul apology, and by the third weekend, indie films nobody had heard of were out grossing announcing Ryan's Hollywood debut. The movie flopped so hard you could hear the echo in empty theaters, and honestly, it's poetic justice that the project,
like, bro, imagine like if they just didn't make that movie, they could have invested all that junk and just let it sit. And they would have made that money back, bro.
which was seen as a quick money grab by Ryan's parents, ended up accelerating their downfall instead. Because here's where the story gets really dark. As Ryan started showing signs of being over the whole YouTube thing, appearing tired.
Yeah, they should have never done things where Ryan has to speak on like a podcast or an interview, because it just shows his actual feelings towards it.
Reluctant, speaking in flat tones like he'd rather be literally anywhere else,
Yeah.
his parents made a move that would make even the greediest stage parents blush. They started pushing his younger twin sisters, Emma and Kate, into the spotlight. The girls, who are only 7 years old, now have their own animation series and are increasingly featured in family content. It's like watching someone finish draining one well and then immediately start digging another. The internet's reaction was absolute disgust. Comments like, Ryan made his parents $34 million and now they're exploiting his baby sisters, started flooding social media. And so the public...
Wait, there's no way, bro. You're telling me only 34 million? That can't be right. I mean, this is their fall off. And if they average this for the rest of the year, or if they've been averaging this for the whole year or whatever, that's like 6 million. You're telling me during their peak? No, bro.
Opinion shift has been brutal and well deserved.
I mean, the man has a 1 billion plus videos. Yeah, there's no way, bro.
People are finally seeing the Kudgies for what they always were. Two adults who monetized their children's innocence and called it family content. The fact that multiple states have rushed to pass kidfluencer laws requiring parents to set aside earnings for their children is basically society admitting the Kudgie model was exploitation all along.
Of
Even
course.
recent interviews with the family have been particularly telling. When Ryan appeared on a podcast, viewers noticed how uncomfortable he looked, how little he spoke, and how his parents did most of the talking.
I mean, yeah, because they're the ones that run the business, really. I don't think a lot of the questions, because I watched that, I don't think a lot of the questions were really directly towards anything that Ryan could really speak on, right? The parents are the ones who run the channel, they run the business. He just acts and does things that they tell him to do. He's not really too much of like a... I'm not gonna say he's not a big factor because it relies on his acting and everything, but all the technical stuff in the background, that's the parents. They would know all that information. I mean, if they were interviewing Ryan, it would be like, how do you feel about all this? And he would say how he feels about it. And that's about it. I mean, what other questions could they ask him? How is it editing your videos in the middle of the night? He doesn't do that. He just gets up, cameras in his face, records the videos, and that's it. I mean, there's not much to ask him. Of course, the parents are going to talk more than him.
Comments poured in predicting a future Netflix documentary about how his parents robbed him blind. People are literally counting down the years until Ryan turns 18 and can tell his real story. But as of now, the Kudgies are desperately trying to keep their sinking ship afloat. They are recycling old footage of younger Ryan, using his face in thumbnails for videos.
Are they actually? Yo, that's funny.
He barely appears in, and pushing the twins harder than a Black Friday sale. But the writing's on the wall. By 2029 or 2030, when Ryan's 18 and the twins are 12, this whole operation will finally collapse under its own greed.
Yeah.
And you know what? Good. The fall of Ryan's world isn't just karma, it's a cautionary tale about what happens when you build an empire on a child's back. The Kudgies turned their son into the most famous kid on the internet, but in doing so, they also guaranteed their own downfall. They still have money, sure. They've got their Hawaiian mansion.
I'm sure they knew this from the very beginning, bro. This man speaking on it as if like they're the most evilest people on the planet, right? I get it. Bro should not be popping out videos like crazy, especially now when the videos mean almost nothing. But I mean, he was like below the age of like 10. He was basically just having fun as a job. I mean, the kid was going on yachts, not yachts, what you call it, cruises, going to Disney World, going to Legoland, going to all these other places. You know what I'm saying? Getting all his toys for free. I mean, he was pretty much having fun. That's like a kid's dream. I'm sure any kid that watches Ryan would love to do this. But now these later ages, for sure, it's just like they're forcing him.
And product lines, but their golden goose is cooked, their reputation is in shambles, and their legacy will forever be those parents who use their kid for YouTube fame. The gravy train has officially derailed, and honestly, it couldn't have happened to more deserving people. So here's to Ryan Kaji. May he finally get the normal teenage years he deserves. And
Facts.
here's to his parents. May they enjoy watching their empire crumble from the mansion their son's childhood bought them. Sometimes the best...
Yeah, because like, bro, there was no version of this where he was gonna have a normal life, right? A normal kid life. Even if he was to be a child actor in movies. Those people don't live normal lives. They don't go to normal schools, right? They're still, I mean, maybe some of them, I don't know. But they would just get private schools or at home homeschool. That's it. Like, that's why I'm saying, like, under the age of like 10 or 11 or so, right? Most of it is fun. It's they're just having fun. I'm sure the parents may have done some crazy junk, you know what I'm saying, yell at them, force them to do the things, right? But if they took it like a route where they just record for a little bit, bro is chilling, they record for a little bit. You know what I'm saying, like one video a day, but the way that they're doing it now, it's like a factory, and they're just taking this man's life force to sustain the $500,000 a month that I showed. Right. And this is the times where I think that it should stop for sure. But comment down below your thoughts on this in the comments. Like, I don't know why I said that again, but yeah, comment down below what your thoughts are on this. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Bing.